When you get out of bed in the morning, are your first steps painful? Maybe in the soles of your feet or your heels, your Achilles tendon, somewhere else in your foot or ankle? If so, I'm going to show you a little protocol, just a few minutes of exercises you can do in bed before you get out so that your feet are loosened up and warmed up and those first few steps are much more comfortable. I'm Jay Gruenke, founder of The Balanced Runner, and I've been helping runners and triathletes from beginner to Olympian improve their form and performance since 2003. So let me just show you now. I'll talk through and explain how each exercise helps. So it doesn't really matter what your foot or ankle diagnosis is in this situation, and you might not even have one. Classically, plantar fasciitis on the sole of the foot, the heel, could be very sore first thing in the morning. Achilles tendonitis back here, or tendinopathy could be very sore first thing in the morning. But even if you just did a lot of hill work yesterday and didn't get quite enough sleep, your calves are tight, your feet and lower legs are sore and stressed, then you might feel that in your Achilles or the sole of your foot. And it's not necessarily an injury per se. And so in a wide range of situations, if you just warm and mobilize your feet before you step on them, you can avoid that pain. And when your first few steps are comfortable instead of painful, you stand and walk and move much better at the beginning of the day, and that carries on through the day, and it can really help you recover and return to balance a lot faster. So let me just show you how this works. So you can do these lying down. I'm sitting up so that I can talk to you more easily. The first thing is heel circles. And for these and for all of the movements I'm going to show you, stick to your comfortable range of motion. So if you're very stiff and sore first thing in the morning, that might be a microscopic movement. It probably a hair more than microscopic, but it's probably pretty small. And that's fine because as you do the repetitions, you're going to loosen up and your movement will become larger. And really, lying in bed and moving your feet, you have the leeway to make the movement as small as it needs to be at the beginning. Whereas if you just stood up on your feet, your ankles would already need to comfortably go like that just for you to stand. And you're probably not in any way ready to do that. So we're going to make heel circles. Now, you've probably heard of foot circles, they're usually called, and that's a front of the foot circle. So for sprained ankle rehab or any number of other kinds of rehab or even warm up, people tell you to make circles with your toes. Imagine you're drawing a circle with your toes. But you don't have to do this just with your toes. So your ankle is not at the back of your foot, right? It's about here. And so you have foot in front of your ankle, that's your forefoot, and you also have foot behind your ankle. Your heel is behind your ankle, and you can move it too. Your front of your foot will also move when you move your ankle, but the muscle recruitment will be different, and the effects will be different. And so that's why I recommend starting with heel circles, because it's a simpler movement that much more targets the areas that you almost certainly need to be mobilizing. So you can just lie on your back, or, well, lying is better. And then you'll feel your heels in contact with the bed. And so you can imagine that you're just drawing circles with your heels, and it's easiest to do them, towards each other or away from each other, so effectively opposite directions. First, I got a nice sound effect here from my heels on the sofa, and then you would reverse directions. So your first range of motion might just be like this. And when you do it small, you can see the toes are very relaxed. So that's fine. Again, as you do, and it might just be here, and you might not even get your ankles to a 90-degree angle. That's why we're doing this. So about 8 reps each direction. Probably your 8th rep is bigger than your first, but you're just listening to your body and sticking with what's comfortable. You're not pushing, you don't want to feel a stretch. And then you can do the parallel circles. So you've been doing like this and like this. You can do parallel circles like this, like wheels on a car, and then reversing direction. And that has a bigger effect on your legs, your pelvis, and the rest of your body. So it goes like this, and you see it ends up rocking me side to side. And when you're lying on your back, you probably feel your spine go like this and your head go like this. That's great. Everything's getting a little loosened up in that case. 8 reps and then change direction. All right, and so then that's the heel circles. Now we're going to do toes. Even if the problems that you feel yourself in your body are in the sole of the foot or in the heel or in the back here or somewhere else, maybe a little on one side or the other, or your calves just feel tight, we do the toes because a lot of the muscles that control the toes and the forefeet actually are in the lower legs and are just connected by long tendons to the fronts of the feet. And so they definitely play a role. They're passing through the same areas that feel tight and sore on you. And they definitely play a role in that tension, and moving them can really warm things up and get all the tissues sliding. So the first movement is to grab with your toes while flexing your feet. You may not have thought of doing a movement like this before ever. I think of this as monkey toes, like you're a monkey climbing a tree. If you look at videos of the great apes or even small monkeys walking around in trees, they're always grabbing branches like this with their heels. So like that, and then the opposite, tippy toes. So this is how your feet would be arranged if you were walking around on tippy toes, right? Or really, it's what dancers call releve. So on the balls of your feet and your toes with your heels lifted. And so this may seem complicated, but especially if you just start small, you'll find there's something really natural about it. These are functions that feet are made to do. And when you do the tippy toes move, think about spreading your toes apart. So you're not just pulling them back, but you're fanning them out wide. Okay? And when you do the monkey toes, you'll feel that the toes come together like this. So for grabbing, like that. Okay? And so that's also part of the dimension that we want to be warming up. It's not just this dimension, but this dimension. Because when you step on your feet are going to need to spread. Yeah? So after you do that, then you're doing a few reps like this, and then you just hold your ankles still and wiggle your toes. And then you do the same thing in the other ankle position. And then you do the more conventional, everything flexes, everything points. Everything flexes, everything points. And I always try to make this really simultaneous. So not sequential, but simultaneous. All the joints at once. And again, I'm thinking about spreading my toes apart in this position and narrowing my feet and bringing them together in that position. So again, 8 reps of each of these. And I'll do a quick run through of all of these exercises so you can do along at the end of this video, so you can easily go back to that section if you want until you have it memorized. So after you've done those, then you can go on to do the classic front of the foot, like toe circles like that. Notice how when I do the toe circles, it doesn't wiggle my body around as much. Isn't that interesting? And you can do them opposite directions. You'll feel that this activates the shins more, which is fine and good, but if what you really needed was warming up the back, that's why we did the heels. So once you've done those, that's the foot section. Then I really recommend that you go on and do one more thing, which is that you stand your feet on your bed and you just lift your hips in the air. Not your maximum height. You're just waking up. You haven't even stood up yet. But most of the time, people are in a very flexed position when they sleep, and you need to wake up your wake up your hip extensors before standing up, because that's going to help you be in a better place over your feet, not with your pelvis pulled back, but nice and balanced over your feet. And that helps relax your feet. So just hold here at a comfortable height, no discomfort, no pushing. It's like 50% of your max, if you want to think of it that way. And just breathe for at least 10 seconds. Could be 20, could be 30. We're just trying to wake the muscles up. Once you've done that, you might like to do a little rolling again, I like to roll my head and make sure that I'm looking at right angles to my body, not up and not down, so that I know my head is going to have a good relationship to my body when I stand up. And then you can roll over to your side and get out of bed. And when you stand up, hopefully you'll find, or even just sitting up and placing your feet on the floor, you should feel like, oh, very easily my heels rest on the floor. My ankles are bending the amount that they should, as no problem. And then you can shift forward and stand up and feel tall and comfortable and like you can walk from your first steps. So let me do, as I promised, a quick run through of all of those again so that you can do along. So your alarm goes off, you turn it off, you roll onto your back. This is great if you're still sleepy and not fully ready to get out of bed yet. Okay, so heel circles, just super easy. One direction, 8 times or so, and then 8 times the other direction. And then parallel heel circles, so the heels all both going counterclockwise first, and you just let that wiggle through your body and wake up other joints as well. And then the other direction. And then monkey toes, grabbing with your toes and flexing your ankles, and tippy toes, stretching your ankles and spreading your toes, and monkey and tippy, 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 and last time monkey toes and tippy toes. And then wiggle your toes while holding your ankles still in the ankle stretch position, and then flex your ankles and wiggle your toes. And now stretch your ankles and point your toes, and flex your ankles and spread your toes and pull them back. And point and flex. You're narrowing and spreading, and point and flex, and point and flex, point and flex, point, flex, point and flex, point and flex. And now relax your feet. And now we're going to do circles with the fronts of the feet. So circling the inwards towards each other and outwards away from each other. And then to one side. So what am I doing? Counterclockwise here with both feet, and then clockwise with both feet. And then relaxing my feet. Then just put the soles of your feet on the bed, on the mattress, and lift your hips up into the air. And just relax and breathe. You can breathe into your belly. Not trying to do anything correctly here, just that little bit of work that is involved in getting your hips off the surface you're resting on. And then put your hips back down. You can roll your head a couple times. Find the top part of your spine. And then when you're ready, roll yourself to the side. Come up to sit. Feel your feet on the floor, ready to receive your weight. And there you go. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please leave a comment below letting me know if this has been helpful to you, if you find that these exercises work to make your feet more comfortable when you get out of bed. Do remember that this is symptom management. It helps with recovery, but you need to ask the question, why did this happen to begin with? Was it just overwork, or is there something about how you're moving that is excessively stressing your feet, your ankles, your lower legs? And if so, then you need a learning process to improve how you move so that you're not creating that excessive stress. And that's going to benefit you even more than doing these exercises first thing in the morning. So in the description below, I have put a link to my best free mini course. It's called Free Your Feet, that will help you begin to unravel what it is you might be doing with your body when you walk and when you run that has been stressing you below the knees, so calves, ankles, feet. And then at the same time begin to learn how to change that so that you're moving in a way that is much less stressful to that area of your body. I've also got more videos. Take a look. There's some playlists in the description. There's a video here that will be helpful to you as well. Please like, subscribe, share this video around, and may all your running dreams